everyone, it is great to see you here once again on Dee's Delights. Today we are going to be making pork loin roast in the crock pot, the slow cooker. I love pork in the slow cooker. Usually pork chops to me don't get as tender, but when you throw it in the crock pot for about 7 to 8 hours, you got yourself a fork tender piece of meat. I love it. Now this is a 3-pound, 3.5 pound pork loin bone-in center cut roast. I thought I grabbed a boneless, which is what I usually use, so today I will be using a bone-in. So what you're going to need for the recipe today is a 3.5 to 5 pound pork loin, 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil. You're going to make a spice rub. You're going to need 2 teaspoons each of paprika and thyme, 1 teaspoon each of garlic powder and onion powder, 1/2 teaspoon cayenne pepper, and that's optional, 1/2 teaspoon pepper, and 2 teaspoons of salt. So let's get our spice rub ready first. So you're going to rub your pork with about 1 teaspoon of oil. I'm just going to pour that into my hand. I'm going to guesstimate. And I'm just going to rub mine on the top since it's bone on the bottom. If you have a boneless, rub it all over the bottom too. It's snowing out there today. What is today? January 7th of 2021. We have snow, got snow last night. The first snow of the season, which is late for us. So next we'll mix all of the ingredients together for our spice rub. So our paprika and thyme. That was 2 teaspoons each. Our garlic powder and onion powder, that was 1 teaspoon each. Our 1/2 teaspoon cayenne, which I'm not using, you would pour that in too. 1/2 teaspoon of pepper and 2 teaspoons of salt. I'm just going to mix that together with my hands. So sprinkle it all over the meat. I'm going to kind of rub it on there, rub it on the sides, there again. Rub it on the bottom if you have a boneless. So next we're going to brown the meat. Now you can skip this part if you want. A lot of times I do, but today I thought, heck, I'm going to try browning this thing, see if it makes any difference, because I've made this before, so we'll see. You are going to put 1 tablespoon of olive oil in a large skillet over medium heat. All right, I'm going to go ahead and brown this just for a little bit. I'll probably have to turn it around a little bit on each side. Normally if you had a boneless roast, you would just do it on one side, flip it over, do it on the other. But this is kind of an awkward shape. So I have to pick it up with my hands. Then you're going to wipe out your pan. Just get a paper towel, get the excess oil out of there. It says add butter and melt. So I'm going to turn it back on to about medium. So you're going to need, for the honey butter sauce, you're going to need 3/4 cup of honey, 1/2 cup of butter, unsalted, which is 1 stick, 5 cloves of garlic minced. I am going to use 1¼ teaspoon of dried, 1/4 cup cider vinegar, and 1/2 teaspoon salt and pepper each. So here goes the butter. Once the butter melts, we're going to add our garlic, and we're going to let that cook for about 1 minute. So you can use 5 cloves minced or 1¼ teaspoon of dried minced garlic. And just cook it for a minute. After that cooks for about a minute, go ahead and add the 1/4 cup of cider vinegar, 3/4 cup of honey, and your 1/2 teaspoon each of salt and pepper. Go ahead and mix that around and just simmer that for about another 30 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and pour that over my meat. You can tell right now that's going to be good, you know, butter. Who does not like butter? And boy, does that smell good. So what we're going to do is cover up the crock pot and we're going to cook it on low for 7 to 8 hours. See if I can get it out of there. I'll tell you what, maybe a spatula. Yep, spatula works the best. going to put it in here. I'll probably peel off that top layer of fat. Yeah, that's just going to roll right off. So here I seared the top layer of fat is what I did. So I'm going to cover that with foil for about 20 minutes, and I'm going to make a thickening now. Let's pour all the broth out of the crock pot. And what we're going to do is add that to our broth. And simmer it on medium for about 5 minutes or until it starts to thicken. So while that's cooking and thickening, 2 tablespoons cornstarch, 2 tablespoons of water. Mix together, then put it in the broth. Okay, I'm going to scrape off this fat, and I'm going to take the meat right out of the bone. Oh my, it just scoops right off. Let's see here. I don't want to lose any of that good meat. All right, once you get all the fat off your meat and you get rid of all the bones, then put all your meat in a dish and just start breaking it apart. Then what you're going to do is pour that thickened broth on top. You're going to have yourself some delicious, tender pork. Probably won't need all that broth. I don't think so. That's a lot. Heck, you might want to save some of it. I haven't had dinner yet, so this really looks appealing. And I've had this before, but I've had it with boneless pork. You can taste the butter in there, which you should be able to. But it just adds such a different flavor. It is excellent. It is excellent. Serve it up with your favorite sides and a vegetable, and you'll have yourself a delicious meal. Didn't take hardly any prep time. And I will probably save some of this. I don't know what I'll use it for, but I'll figure something out. So thanks for joining me here once again on Dee's Delights. I hope you enjoy your pork roast, whether you have bone-in, boneless, skinless, fatless, whatever the heck you want. It's going to taste great, slow cooked in a crock pot all day long. And what doesn't taste great? Slopped in butter. So thanks for joining me, folks. I hope you have a fabulous day, and I'll see you soon.